Welcome back to episode 25 of the test run. Today we are joined by one of Lifesteal's newest members who arguably does have an atrocious upload schedule because he's in film school. But he only drops bangers. Please welcome Force of It.
Hello. How is it going, Parrot? How has been the podcast the past few days on
Dude,
VidCon?
Yeah, honestly, like I thought I would get exhausted because I'm like bulk recording these, right? Because yesterday I did like 3 back-to-back, and then today I'm doing 4 back-to-back.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm gonna be so tired. But honestly, like I'm just not tired at all. Yeah. I don't know what's happening, but like I'm just
You're just getting energy from the conversation. I haven't really had a conversation with you yet. Actually.
Yeah, I haven't.
This is like our first actual talk,
exactly.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know.
It's pretty. This is weird. It's surreal being at actual. Like I don't know if the mics can hear the speakers and stuff.
They can hear the tiny bit. Yeah,
while we're doing the interview, like in real life. This is so weird, but it's very cool. It's very cool. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do we do any questions or like just start going? Just go start going.
By the way, how's your VidCon been so far?
My VidCon has been very good. It's been very fun. We have been like nonstop running around, and we have so much more that we're going to be doing to the next few days. Are you leaving today?
I'm leaving tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stay 2 more days just hanging out with everybody.
What do you think like the highlight of your trip has been so far?
The Lifesteal dinner was pretty good.
That was awesome.
That was pretty. Yeah. I was not ready for that. There's been some good moments though with our friend group. We had a taco dinner last night with a few people. That was cool. And we also we played Uno underwater with Rec at our pool at our house.
Like with a scuba?
No. Someone ordered Uno to our house. We had no idea who it was, and we're like, "Do you want to go play Uno?" And we were all in the pool, and we're like, "Let's just play it underwater." So I set up my GoPro underwater, and we actually just played an Uno game underwater.
Wait, how does that? Do the cards not?
No, the cards were completely destroyed.
Oh my gosh!
But it was a funny moment, like seeing it all go down. There's been so many stupid moments, but it's been cool. Did you hear about the? Actually, I'll stop talking about the VidCon trip. We gotta get into the story.
You can.
I can keep going.
You can keep going.
Oh, so there's been some really weird like run-ups with strangers at VidCon as well. There's like, I don't know if you heard about the scooter. You were there for the scooter thing.
No, I wasn't.
No, you weren't? No. This guy rolled up on a scooter. He was like, "You guys are like the future of content creation.
What?
Like, what is up?" Like he was like talking all this stuff. We had no idea who he was. He's like, who's like the most famous person here? And everyone's like, "Oh, Bacon Waffles." Like, and Bacon walks up and he's like, "My name is Bacon Waffles." Like he paused to get that like dramatic effect. Yeah. And like they like shared like TikToks and stuff, and then they got Planet to get on his scooter and drive away on the
like
street.
Actually, did Planet just leave?
I have a video of it. I'll show you it later. I'll show you it later. He came back, but it was like cool. It's such a funny bit. That was like the very first time I met anybody. Like we just showed up at the IHOP and we just met everybody, and it was like it all went down.
Wait, was that the same morning when we like joined your group?
Yeah, when you joined, it was right after. Like you joined right after the thing. It was really cool though. Yeah. It's been fun meeting everybody.
Yeah, I agree. Like this is the first trip. Like I did have I did a Lifesteal ski trip like with Spoke, Jaren, Parker, and Vortex.
I heard about that. How was that?
That was fun. It was interesting. Then before that, I met up with like Vitality, Parker, and Vortex. That was when Parker came to eat the ghost pepper.
Yeah.
But besides that, like this is the first time I've actually met anybody.
Same. See. We've been 8 months ago, actually. Like once people like came back from VidCon, we're talking about it. Our whole like group were like, we got to go next year, but we're like checking expensive. Like this is an expensive trip. Like we're not gonna be. So throughout the 8 months, we like figured out how we could make it work for everybody to be there because we wanted everyone to like come together. The taco dinner was actually 6 months ago, and that's a funny story because the taco dinner. Okay, how it happened? There was a. I don't know exactly how it like came down, but there was a Witherstorm event way back when that somebody did a Witherstorm event, and it was $1,000 prize. And we're like, I think it was someone had the dumb idea. They were like, what if we win the event and have a $1,000 taco dinner at VidCon and invite RecRap 2 to come have dinner with us, like a taco dinner. And he came to help us like compete. Oh, I hit the mic. Whoops.
No, it's all
good. He came with us in the thing. And it was this weird, the event got messed up at the end. Ended up, I got like the $500. I won like half the split of the money. And I remember, like I looked, because at the time, I only had like a couple thousand subscribers. And I was like, I cannot afford my VidCon trip. And so I went to the group, I was like, hey, because like some people were already making money doing different
Yeah.
things. I was like, because I was just getting into college. I was like, hey, if worst comes to worst, like, am I allowed to use this $500? Because I feel to go to the trip, to even be there, and that was that's how I am here. That $500.
Dang.
Yeah, and I did pay for Jaren's dinner at the thing because the Lifesteal dinner card. I felt so bad for
Yeah,
it,
dude. I was watching back on that video last night, and Jaren's face when we were like, "Who's number 5?" and we held up the card, he just slaps
I
the
gotta
table.
see that video. That was such a cool, like, dramatic way to like just get so angry.
I know, dude.
Respect for him though. That was
He
really
actually
cool.
took it like a champ.
He did. He did.
I don't know how he took it like a champ. By the way, okay, I have talked about this Lifesteal dinner, but I haven't talked about how much we actually spent there.
I won't say. Unless you want to.
I think we should.
You want to say?
That's
it?
funny.
It is funny.
So there were like 23 of us that showed up. I was like, it's probably gonna come out to like 1,500. The waiter comes over to me because I was the one who organized it, and he's like, "All right, sir, here's your bill." And I open it up, and it's 2.5 grand, and I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "All right, dude, I can't pay this alone." Because if it was like I don't know, a lot less than that, I would have just covered it. But like 2.5K is crazy.
Yeah, I was willing to pay for my share. That's what I was expecting to happen. Like,
Yeah.
everyone pays their own share for what they ate.
Yeah.
I was not expecting Jaren to just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna." No, I came up to him 3 times, and he's like, "No, this is motivation for my next video to pop up and make." I was like, "Okay, whatever you want to do."
Yeah, so subscribe to Jaren, bro. He's down
a
2.5
legend.
grand. Yeah.
He's struggling over here. But yeah, also getting into Lifesteal. Did I tell you about like what happened whenever I first got in? That was okay. The night before, I was trying to reset my sleep schedule because we were doing like VidCon stuff, and I just stayed up late with Cube one night just talking about stuff. So okay, I need to fix my sleep schedule. And I was talking to Mid, and Mid was like, "No, you are no." She didn't say no. She said just try to stay up all day. Just like make it through the whole day. That'll fix it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so I'm trying to stay up. Everyone's gone to bed, and it's like 2 p.m. I'd stayed up so late. I was
What do you mean stayed up so late?
I stayed up from like I'm getting away from the mic. I stayed up like from the 48 hours almost. It was that I was up like 24 hours. I don't actually know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I could probably check, but like from messages, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I stayed up a long time, and at 2 p.m. I was like, I don't think I can keep going. Like I'm out of it right now.
Yeah.
And so I decided to just lay down on the couch, maybe take a nap, and I'd wake up later and I'd be good. I laid down at 2 p.m. and I took a nap for like 3 hours. My dad woke me up, and I checked. And I was like, maybe I should check my phone. I checked my phone. I have like 8 missed calls from Mid, 10 missed calls from Q, millions of @pings. And I'm like, oh frick, what is happening? So I go out, I get to my computer, I have this like super excite moment, right?
Yeah.
And I'm connecting, my headphones aren't working.
Yeah.
My earbuds weren't working. One of them was broken, the other one was side. There's water running from behind like
No way,
there was
dude.
water running because my dad was doing something, I don't even know. So there's water running, my earphones are broken. I had no sleep, and I joined the call and everyone's dead silent. And I'm like, is this like my headphones messing with me? Are you guys not talking? And it was so stupid. I was like, what a way to join Lifesteal. And then like on Twitter, I was like, guys, I was 3 hours late to my Lifesteal thing.
I remember we were like, because Jumper and Minute were on.
Yeah.
And we like invited them, and we were like, yo, where's 4C? And then Mid was like, he's not picking up.
Oh no. Well, you guys messaged, I checked, you guys messaged 30 minutes after I fell asleep on the couch. Like literally perfect timing to where I was late. It was so, like, timing was so sad. I was funny before the Lifesteal app thing, like before thing, I was talking with Cube, just about like life and stuff. I have a lot of deep calls with people.
Yeah.
I even had a deep call with an Uber driver while we were here. That was weird.
Yeah.
I've never had an Uber driver before, and I go on my very first Uber driver. I sit down, and he's like, I was like, how's your day, man? He's like, oh, not very good. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, do you want me to tell you? I'm like, sure, I got nothing better to do. He spills his whole life story about his roommate and a whole bunch of stuff. And he asked for advice. I won't say everything because it was rough, but like, it was funny how I'm in these like situations a lot. I feel like I get put in these situations a lot because I guess people think I listen. I'm a good listener. I don't know if I am.
Okay.
But either way, I had a late night call with Cube way back when. I don't know if I just went and talked about an Uber driver, but I had a late night call with Cube. And I was talking about like, it's crazy how we get here, like how we get to this place. And I always like to keep track of my history, like how I'm a big history person. Like on servers, I like to have maps of things, like the world as it evolves, or like I don't even know. I do a lot of, like, I think with the Eclipse group, I have a timeline of like all of our subgraphs whenever we like progress. Like I like to keep track of that stuff because it's cool to me to see how people grow and do stuff. But like looking back, I'm gonna go way back.
Okay.
So it's gonna go crazy.
Go ahead.
I've played Minecraft since like 2010. I'm not gonna say like all that stuff because it's a whole bunch of stuff. But in 2021, right? There's this guy that I've known. I was on a build team way back when. It's not a very big build team, but he was my friend, Isaiah. No one will know him. He's not a creator. He's an artist. But we were talking, and he was like, "Yo, just got invited to this server. I'm creating this really stupid idea where I create a poor town next to this rich area. You're gonna come play Minecraft with me?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" And I joined him on this server, and that server ended up being where I met Ulrich.
Interesting.
And Ulrich invited me to, well, kind of. There's a lot of process, but I won't go through it.
Yeah.
Ulrich basically was the way I got into Eclipse, which is where I met Mid and everybody else.
Yeah.
And then I started Mid, Cube, Aeon, Jet, like our whole group, and it's kind of grown from there. But on a content standpoint, it's interesting because like it's cool to see how everyone met. Like Cube, I met Cube on Eclipse when it was 2 a.m. And I only joined Eclipse to meet people, to talk to people, to kind of see how people were. And I look, and Cube was streaming, and I was his only viewer. And that's weird looking at it now, because Cube has gotten so much bigger.
I know.
I was his only viewer, and he was building a little castle, like on Eclipse. He built like little little like pillars, and we called them pylons. They're not pylons, but they were like stupid things. And he built these little pylons, and I made this stupid joke about them being like siblings. Because he had one, this is gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound really weird.
Okay.
I saw your face. The pylon thing, basically, he had one pylon that was filled with all of his stuff, everything that he needed. And it was right next to this village. It had all this stuff. I was like, man, that's really like a first child right there. Getting all the work, having to do all the, like the hard labor. But they have like no respect. They're like all right there. And then the second one was just in the middle of nowhere. I was like, that's the middle child. It's completely ignored. No one cares about that. And then the third one was on a beachside front, like out with the privy. I was like, so that was the joke, right?
Yeah.
And Cube remembers that. Both of us remember. It's weird how like first interactions, getting to know people, is like it's a very important thing. I feel like
I agree.
How you first meet people. And that was my first impression on him. I stayed in that call for like 5 hours, or in his stream. I was on a stream for 2 hours, and I joined a call. We talked about events and stuff. It was super cool. And that was my first time ever talking to Cube. Now with Mid, I kidnapped her child, but that's that on a server, on a game. Sorry,
not
podcast. It was not a
person.
real child. It was, but like, I've always had weird first interactions, and that was a cool thing for me. From there though, more content. I wanted to make videos because I'm surrounded by all these people that are making videos. I know Mid had like Castaways, a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you know about those.
I know about
you know about that?
Yeah, I know about Castaways. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Mid was doing Minecraft butt stuff at the time. That sounded weird. Mid was doing Minecraft videos.
butt and then ... like something happens.
Yes.
Not Minecraft butt.
So we were doing those videos, and she had a big group, and it was hard keeping track of everybody and everything when things were going on. And so Mid was like, what if we make a smaller group of people just to do like more of that same stuff more regularly? And it was weird because I didn't know Mid at the time. Like all I had done is like I had like 3 or 4 interactions, not much at all, and I didn't really know her that well. And out of nowhere she DMs me. She's like, "Yo, do you want? You seem really cool. Do you want to come join my private creator group?" And I joined, and it's me, Mid, and Omen. And I barely I was kind of closer to Omen, but I barely knew Mid. And I thought they were close, but they weren't. Like none of us knew each other.
Owen's Juice.
Huh?
Owen?
No. You wouldn't know him. His name is Omen, but he hasn't made content in a while. He might. I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a bit. But he basically that was our like core group for a while, making a ton of content. And it was cool because since we all didn't know each other, it was like first interactions, and we it was cool to me because it was like a bigger content creator reaching out to me to invite me to this small thing. It was cool, and that was like we came together. And I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea. It was horrible videos, not good at all. But from there, I really wanted to get better at it and like learn how to do stuff video-wise. And our friend group is really stupid. We like to take stuff and over like overhype things that are very like
dramatize
make
them.
things that are insignificant significant, like things that are very dumb. And so my friend group, we did this thing, my armor steel video, right?
Yeah.
That was me trying to just be me, make a video based on just over dramatizing something, and it's a good video. I'm proud of it. There's moments like that big reveal with like the elevator, everything. I'm still so proud of that moment because that took so long to set up. We got the whole server invested on this one person, and that was cool to me. It's a good memory. But the video, I can't rewatch it. I try to rewatch it, but to me, it's like it's so slow. It's like that. But that was my first attempt doing something like that. But I wanted to learn to do better, and I knew Jet and Aeon and a few other people that I was close with were really like YouTube analysts. They were like, we're not YouTube analysts, but they knew the algorithm really well. So I was talking to them and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I had this, I was invited to this server. I think the one where I did the baby video on. I don't know, VidCon SMP. And it was funny because that same time where the VidCon SMP was going on, my school, I was taking a class where I had to take home a robotic baby for 3 days. I was like, that is a really funny idea, to take home a baby and have it like during a Minecraft event or something. And I set aside all these plans and I tried to do something more YouTube analytic, right? And I posted the baby video and it did really well. Like for me, it was really well. I think I know it says really well, but it got 6,000 views. So that was cool. I felt like I'd stepped up a little bit, like I learned what I was doing. But I was just all algorithm. So if you watch that video, it reminds me of like every other SMP video or every other thing. And as much as like the baby was a unique concept, it wasn't something unique. I wasn't the armor thing was a unique thing that I did, but it had no spice, no like storytelling or anything. Well, it had some storytelling. I knew a little bit how to tell a story. And the baby video was all just like full on YouTube. Then I got into film school, and that was where my whole mindset kind of changed for like things, because I had these videos, but like I wasn't comfortable sharing it to like my family members. Like my parents knew, but like I'd go to family dinners and they're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I'm just making videos. Like I'm uncomfortable to say, like, I know it's weird to go up to somebody in real life and be like, hey, I'm a Minecraft YouTuber. That's a weird thing to do.
I know.
And I had the baby video, which is even weirder. It's me taking care of a baby on a video game. I don't know. I showed one person that, and it was so awkward, like seeing their reaction in person. And when I go to film school, I like learned how filmmakers do things, and it was like a whole different experience. Like I was gonna go. I had two choices for colleges nearby me that did film, because my parents didn't want me to go too far. It's expensive and a whole bunch of other things. One of them was like, I don't even know. It was like $20,000 a semester or something for a while, and then the other one I got a full ride for an associate's degree. The other one was a bachelor's degree. I'm like, if I'm doing YouTube and if I really want to do YouTube, do I really need a bachelor's degree? Like an associate's degree is a nice thing. I feel like, in my opinion, I don't know if everyone, I feel like a lot of people have this opinion, but my opinion, like my parents raised me, you need to get some type of degree. Like that's important, because if YouTube doesn't work out, YouTube is very, it is a good place to be, but it can be unstable.
I agree.
And having a degree is a good thing if you need like a backup or something to do. But so it is nice to have, but I wanted to learn film. I wanted to be better at that. So when I was at school, when I was at film school, I realize I'm talking a lot. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
When I was at film school, my class was actually very small. First semester I had like 20 people. Second semester there were 5. Only 5 students, which is really cool because we made like a little like friend group. I didn't tell them I did YouTube till like a year after. Like I had to wait because I was still uncomfortable. The reason I waited though was because, like I said, I was uncomfortable sharing this stuff publicly because it felt weird to me. So I was learning how, like I learned Save the Cat and like other like film methods and how they're used in film. Like film school is cool because like you get to use these cool cameras and learn how to. I know how to use every film light, every film camera. Like they taught me everything, and it's nice because they're all hands-on and really close, so like everybody knows each other, and that is cool. We got to go out on actual film sets. We went to this abandoned ballroom from like the 1900s. That was cool. It's cool to like have those experiences. But yeah, we went and did all these things, and I looked at my channel and I was like, I'm not comfortable sharing this, so I want to make something that I'm proud of. Now, this whole time, I've been playing with my friends for like ever. Like, we play games, make videos, all this time. And we were playing on the Bliss SMP, doing a bunch of stuff, just having fun. I was helping Mid with her videos because I wasn't sure what I was going to do video-wise. And we had this idea for a video, but we couldn't do it anymore. And there were some like complications and stuff, and we wanted, a lot of us like were going to leave Bliss. And I felt bad because I hadn't done anything yet. Like, I wanted to come out of it doing something, making something.
Oh, was this the Tomb video?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if we're leaving, and everyone's leaving anyway, I wasn't even planning to make a video on this, mind you. I remember something Omen told me, like the friend from the thing. He when he was on servers, he'd like say goodbye, put armor up on like a display, and like that was his, like a lot of people do that. Like that's their way of leaving servers. It's a very like close to home thing for people. Yeah. And I was like, well, why don't I just leave my stuff behind, leave some clues, leave a little mystery, because I like mystery. Mystery's fun. And just see where it goes. I just left a few signs and a few armor things, and I left. My hope was someone could make content out of that, not me. I didn't record any, like I recorded me placing them, that was it. And then it happened, and I had so many people messaging me, being like, what's this tomb, where is it at, well, all this like cool things. And it was exciting, because I felt like you didn't find it already? Like, it's like, so I put together all these clues. I knew ARGs before. I used to watch like Wilbur Soot's ARG, and I knew what they were. It's like, I'm gonna try to do something like, I've never done one before. And it wasn't the greatest. It was like ARG standard, it was like, it was okay. Like, but I knew codes and stuff, so it made it fun. And the people who did the tomb had a ton of fun doing it. IDK helped a lot. IDK, Jahorse, Jahorse and IDK helped more with Mid's ARG, but IDK, he was like my messenger type thing. He was going around placing things, and he wanted to just do that like goodbye thing, but we set it up in this really cool way that made it like, that was a hit hard emotional thing. But the thing with the tomb, I'm getting off topic like so much. I know I keep talking. I'm very good at just still talking. When we were at the thing about the tomb that was exciting for me was while I was doing film, because at film school we have to do short films, a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm always out of the house. Even though like it's cheap, like things, I'm not living in a dorm. I'm staying at home because the dorms are like so expensive. Yeah. While all I have to pay is for gas, but it's an hour-and-a-half drive there and back. Interesting. Which takes up like a lot of time in my day. So I have to like think while I'm driving. So whenever I was doing all of that at once, I was trying to, it was weird when I was doing the tomb video. It was like I was doing these film things. It was like whole other project, while also trying to think of like, I had all this YouTube and like from the baby video, all this analysis that I had learned. Yeah. And I was like, how can I mesh that together in a way that is cool? Because like, if I could do that successfully and it does well, I could go to like my friends in real life and be like, check out this super cool video I made. And I that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm not posting regularly already. I'm gonna sit down and just make something I'm proud of. I think that's something a lot of creators don't think about doing these days. Is like I still say, if you want to do well on YouTube, I agree that quantity is the most important thing. If you just keep posting, you'll find something you like. You will, if you keep posting videos, eventually you'll get better and better at it, and you keep growing. I think that a lot of people forget about with quantity is they keep putting the same thing, and they don't change. They put something, it doesn't work, and they keep doing the same thing over and over again. And because they keep doing the same thing, they don't grow. But I think if someone finds the balance of like posting regularly, learning their strategy, and then like becoming better at that, like basically find the thing you love. Yes. Right? Yes. For motivation, that's a really big thing for creators. I think that's an underrated thing, but like once you get bigger, I know like I've talked with Cube and Rec and people, when you get bigger, if you don't have something that drives you, it's really hard to keep going. And so something I like to say, I don't know if you agree with this, but I heard it from like a Mr. Beast podcast, I think. But it's like, if what you really need to do to like do well on YouTube is find the thing that you really love. I agree. Find the thing that you enjoy, and then learn to be the best at that. And whether that is posting a whole bunch all the time, because to me, I feel like that's the best way, posting a whole bunch and getting better at it. Yeah. I know I'm that's very hypocritical of me because I don't post so much, and you opened it up with that, like the bangers. But that's how I feel like that's how you should succeed. But I think the thing that people always forget, like they hear, yeah, I do quantity, do that. They do need that quality. Like you need to learn how to do better and evolve. I don't know if you've seen my most recent videos, but every single time when I start the video, I actually look for some new skill for my intro, something completely different, just to see what I can do. Guys, I use DaVinci Resolve. Do you what editing software do you use? Do you use Premiere?
I use Premiere, but I know what DaVinci is.
Yeah, I use DaVinci, and the thing I like about DaVinci, different. I know Premiere has some way better. Like when it comes to Premiere, I've used it for film school. It's way more better for organization and like management. But when it comes to DaVinci, what I like is it has all the special effects laid out right in front of you. Like with DaVinci or with Adobe, you have to go through all the other platforms like Photoshop. I don't know. There's all the like After Effects, all that.
Exactly.
DaVinci, there's like a bottom row of things where you have like editing, cutting, editing, fusion. I don't know if you know this. I don't know when you know what this is, but basically you have everything laid out for you. And DaVinci is known for its color grading. And I knew that like I'm not as skilled at Premiere as other people are. But I spent like a year or two learning how DaVinci works, and I was like, well, if DaVinci is known for its color grading, what if I learn how to do that and then become the best at that? Because if I do that, it's different. No one else is doing that. Everyone's using Premiere. Everyone's trying to do the same thing or trying to do that. Let me learn to do that. And so I looked up online videos of like how to do cool special effects on DaVinci. And I just learned like one effect, like the moss video. You saw that little fire rim around the moss. I looked it up, and it's a fire lightning trim thing that car videos use. And
That's really cool.
I was like, that looks cool. I feel like it'd be cool to like. I was gonna do that in the rec rap like Jeremy video on the boxing ring, but I ran out of time. I was trying to like post it soon, but it's like finding something cool and just trying to innovate it in a way that's fun for me. Like I have a friend Jet as well who he spends a lot of time on his videos, but they do really well. And you can tell because he's enjoying it. So even like the biggest thing on YouTube is having fun and enjoying what you're doing. From there, it's all about how you work and how you go and how you evolve. I went way off topic from like where I was.
Really one thing I was gonna say was like, a long time ago, like I would watch a lot of movies, right? And like, like before the past 2 years, I don't think I've like ever cried watching a movie. Right? But I watched a lot of like Minecraft YouTube for a while, like so much to the point where it honestly felt like a lot of the videos were stripped of their emotion. They were either stripped of their emotion or the emotion that people tried to create was fake, right? So what's interesting is like I kind of realized that in a lot of the like movies that I've been watching recently, I've started to cry a lot, which is like
you're crying in the emotional movies.
Because it's like everything I've watched has been so like stripped of it. So when I actually see it, it's like, oh my gosh, there's like actual emotion in this. But something that's really interesting is when I watched your tomb video, when that one girl found the tomb, dude, I started bawling, bro. Yeah, like that's it was this moment that was so raw and it was so pure, and I was like, oh my god, dude. And then like the tears just started coming out.
Really? That's crazy, bro.
But that was like,
oh, that means a lot.
I've only cried in like a few YouTube videos. Like, probably only like yours and like one other.
Wow,
but that video was
hits
so
hard.
I
think something like you said about the emotion, that's another thing. I try to say that a lot, and I used to say it a lot more to people, but I think a lot of people, I've heard like mixed things about that, because like to me, another like something I love to do. I don't think I've done it as much because I think I've started to try to be quicker and I'm not putting as much thought into it. Like the Tomb video took like 6 months. That was I'm never doing that again. But I always like to, when I'm thinking, I know other people don't do this, but for me, I like to, every time I come up with a video, I try to think of an underlying theme, something that like, what is the point of this video? Like the Tomb video was, what is your legacy? And so when I'm in film school, like learning stuff, the Save the Cat method, there's like a whole bunch of like, the podcast may not know what Save the Cat is, but it's basically, the whole idea of it is, Save the Cat you learn in school is, it's the moment in the film where you connect with that character and you want to save them, like that.
Interesting.
Yes. So like, why do you care about this person like that you're watching? Like, if it's in every other video, like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
So Save the Cat has like a whole bunch of things lined up to get you invested in this character.
Yeah.
And the very first thing it starts off with is like setup, like preparing, but right before the setup is theme. But this is movies.
Yeah.
YouTube's a whole different situation.
Exactly.
But with movies, I don't know if you've seen. I like to reference like Black Panther, like things like that. They start right away just giving you context and immediately throwing at you the theme of the thing, and I love that in movies because, like, the moment you click on that, like for me with my video, my Tomb video, I wanted you to, the moment you clicked on that video, you felt the emotion of what I wanted you to feel.
Yeah.
And then as you progress through the video, you'll feel that change. So like, I showed that intro, that Tomb video intro, to like 20 people, right? Every single person told me it was bad. It would not work. Even Cube, he was like, because you learn how to do a video, an intro, and they're like, that will not work. That is not something that people, like, they'll click off right away. It's too slow. It's not something that people would like. But the thing about the, I think some people referenced your, like, if you wanted to try that, they referenced your, if you threw a rock in the middle of the ocean video, because it's similar style. But like, everyone told me that it wouldn't work, that the Tomb video wouldn't work. And I sat there and I was like, I had this idea, I had this vision. The biggest thing on YouTube, have a vision for what you want. Like, obviously if you're just posting videos to get it out, you can do that. But if you want to make a good video, you gotta have a vision for how you want it to look, how you want it to be. And I looked at this video, everything that I had laid out. I like writing it out to see what I have. I looked at the video and I was like, okay, I have this moment where like they start off like, and we like bury our stuff. And it's like this big like sad moment. And then we go on to like bring it back. How can I make that emotional? Well, usually you want like something all happy, throw in your face, exciting, and then you get to like the sad memory stuff later, right?
Yeah.
Well, how I saw the video was, it starts off really sad. Like everything is lost. I even actually at the end of the video, or at the beginning of the video, at like for the end of the intro, I say the world goes on without you, whether you like it or not. Which is basically me telling you, which is basically saying like, if you're just sitting around, the world's gonna keep going, and that sucks. Like, so that is really impactful for a lot of people, and it's really like that intro is really sad, and I knew it was sad, but the reason I had that was because as you go through the video and you see people progressing to like learn how to like get through it and everything, and the struggle that they went through to get there, when they got to the end, I repeated, I don't know if you know this, I repeated the exact same statement, and instead of saying the world goes on without you, I say, what was it that I say? I say, while the world may go on without, like, doesn't mean you can't let them know you're here, which is basically saying like, yes, the world goes on without you, but you can still leave your impact before you leave. So it's like starting with sadness and ending with hope.
I like that.
And that was different.
And like, I kind of see that. How do you even explain that? It's like,
it's really hard to explain.
Yeah, it's like you have a double entendre. You know that?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so double entendre, I don't think this is the right word, because like double entendre usually refers to like something explicit, but like it's when there's two interpretations of something, kind of. So it's like the first interpretation, like it's what it means to you, and then the way you put it the second way is like how viewers kind of get it after you've set up this entire thing. And I kind of did that in my most recent video. I said like every story has a villain, right? And then after Spoke set up this whole thing, and I kind of set him up as this kind of like lonely character. Like the reason why he did this was because he was lonely. And then I ended it with every villain has a story. And like, so it's like, it's similar, it's different, but there's like different interpretations based on the story. So
everyone interprets it in their own way, and that's the beauty of it. Like, cause you don't know how people have told me many things, like how they felt. Like, I did not know that you were that like emotional towards it, which is really cool. I just think for the best stories, at least for me, I'm learning on YouTube, but like the best stories for me is when you see someone change. You see someone change and learn something through it. And it's like the Tomb video, I don't know if you know, one of the reasons it was the hardest video for me to edit was, one, like the story, but also I have no footage. I had 2 streams to work with. That was it. So it was like my first experience of me doing narration and doing like that. So basically, I think the reason it worked was because like it's hard to like follow all these characters jumping around all over the place. So what I did was, instead of like saying like, oh, this is this person's guide to the tomb, I put the viewer in my shoes and like had them like tell my story through the thing.
That's cool.
And so, and if you look at the tomb, the whole thing was them walking through my life story.
Yeah.
Like they go through my past, my old bases, my old things,
Yeah.
and like my Gabe, like they got the happy memories with Gabe that we used to have. Now, the viewers never saw that. I bet if I posted a Bliss video before that, it would hit so much harder. Like if you built up to that. But like to me, it was emotional because they were walking through my life. And so I told that in the story. And I tried my best to like hit it home, and I think I did it well. But that was like that whole like the tomb video, which I thought was cool. What was it I was gonna say? Something like you said with emotion that I feel like a lot of people forget. I actually give a lot of props to Jaren for this because a lot of people try so hard to like fake an emotion.
Exactly.
Right? Whenever they like, cause like if they're like feeling upset, they're like, I don't want people to see this. So they like try to like act like they're happy and like act like this, which can work. But usually it's like YouTubers are not actors. It's very hard to trick somebody into thinking you're feeling like you can get good at it. And don't get me wrong. People have done it all the time. Scripted videos are doing very well, but you got to do them right.
Yeah.
But whenever like if I say like Jaren, right? It's interesting how when it comes to emotion, it doesn't all have to be happy.
Yeah.
It doesn't all have to, like I did like sad melancholy stuff, but like I watched Jaren's videos, like the pig video or something.
Yeah.
And he seems so bored, but he made it entertaining. Like he just flat out tells you like, this is stupid, so I did this instead and made it fun. And so he's like telling you exactly how he feels through it. And I think if you're authentic enough, people will feel that. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like the authenticity thing?
Yeah, so I feel like viewers can honestly kind of tell. Like, I remember there was this one video I made back then. I forget exactly what it was, but I was like, bro, I hate the way that this ended, so I'm just going to pretend like it ended another way.
Yeah.
And that's when I started getting comments like, oh, this is scripted. And I was like, well, it wasn't, but like, I kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
like, yeah, I kind of faked this emotion. And what I found is like, if I'm feeling a certain way in like a video when I actually recorded it, that translates to when I'm making the script and when I'm editing it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like this part genuinely hurt. Like this broke my heart. Like
betrayal hurts.
Exactly.
Too.
And like, I'm not gonna act like it made me happy or act like I recovered. I can like talk about how it genuinely impacted me. And something that also is interesting, the way that YouTube's kind of like optimized is you're honestly like constantly retention editing, like all these tactics. And there's been so many points where I've wanted to include parts. Like if you were watching a movie, for example, right, and you pay your $15 for your ticket and you walk inside, like you'll sit through the whole thing even if there's a boring part. But the thing about those like boring parts is they help set it up like for later on.
Oh yes,
right?
yes.
So like I've tried including these kind of boring parts, but like unfortunately with YouTube, a lot of times you have to cut them or make them shorter, which kind of sucks because it compromises the story in some way.
Yeah, you gotta find like a good balance. That is the hardest part. That was the hardest part learning because YouTube algorithm and like that is important. Like knowing. I still don't really know it that well. I'm not one to talk about it, but knowing how to optimize things is very important. But for me, like I don't even know how to go about saying this. I think optimization is very important to make things work. But if you can find a way, even like to like blend it, because like this was I like experimenting. I'm really weird at doing that. Like, because every video I do like a stupid experiment. But like with the tomb video, I was like. To me, everyone told me you gotta have like some goal or restate this title some way in the first 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, well, they just said the first 30 seconds. And usually, like there's I just did a hand motion. That was the dumbest hand motion I've ever done.
But I get it. Yeah.
They just said the first 30 seconds, meaning you have 30 seconds to say whatever the heck you want. And have the goal stated. So. But I wasn't sure if that was true or not. I wanted to see if that worked. And it has worked. It's not like the greatest thing in the world. But like most of the time when a viewer clicks on the video, they will see the first 5 seconds, right?
Yep.
They will see
Yep.
that. And so to me, I know I hated English, but like I do remember in English, good hooks are very important. So like the Jeremy video, that was a complete experiment of an intro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that, but like that video where I had the whole like this is a normal Minecraft loading screen, right? Wrong, completely destroy it, right? I wanted to try something like it did relate to the video, like the idea of sneaking wreck right in front of, because I want to do more with it actually. I was gonna like gaslight the viewers into thinking wreck was someone like someone different, but I didn't actually get to pull that off. I did something different, but because of the way I wanted to do it, I was gonna be like the theme of the video was hiding someone in plain sight. Because I don't know if you know about the whole Jeremy the Phantom thing was hilarious. That was like one of my favorite moments playing Minecraft. But that moment was about hiding him in plain sight. And I was like, well, what if I hide things in plain sight right in front of the viewers, show them that, and then be like, like you missed it, here's the video. Like just to see what that was. But it's a really dumb intro. I don't think it's like the best intro I've ever done, but it is cool because it did hold people. Like when you see a video and you see like it's a little slow and then boom, they slap. I just slapped really loud. Like everything comes at you at once. It's like, whoa, okay, let's watch this. And then I tell you the theme and I tell you like what's going on. And they're like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Hooks are very important, I think. Like I do think algorithmically, like how people say, you need to set a goal early, or you need something for the viewer to follow, a story to follow. That is important. I 100% agree with that. But I'm wondering, like, in that 30 seconds, what else can you say to give them a feeling of what they're about to experience? That's how I like to go.
I think a really big part of YouTube is viewer satisfaction.
Yes.
And like, it's so weird. I don't know how YouTube tells this, but I think there's some way that YouTube can sense emotion.
Really?
I
guess I don't know how that would work.
So I've had some theories. Like I've thought, based on like spikes, in the retention graph, like it can detect spikes.
Really?
To sense emotion. It can maybe look at your like ratio.
Yeah.
It can look at some other aspects, like maybe comments in some way. But I've kind of found that like videos that invoke the most emotion, even if they're not the best, they tend to do really, really well.
Really?
So intros, like obviously hooks are important, goal setting is important, but I also like to set up something in the intro that makes sense at the end.
Exactly.
And like at the end, it's like the intro and the outro are bookends to the whole video.
Yes.
Whole video comes together and the person leaves like, wow.
Yes, I love that feeling. Cube actually is the one who really inspired that for me. It's really nice. I love Cube, but like when it comes to like bookends and stuff, when I did the baby video, I had this really. I'm going back a little bit. I'll come back. I had this really big plan on the server of like, I had secretly taken 3 beacons and I was playing the victim, and then I was gonna be like, boom, I have like all this power and show it. It'll be like really cool. But the server died in 1 day. Okay. So I couldn't do anything with it. And so I tried to make the video, and I had a conversation with Cube, and I remember he was like, the way like the bookend thing, you can't do an ending that's like emotional without having the build up for it. You can do like a surprise thing, but you have to have little references beforehand for that to make sense. Yeah. You can't just be like, oh, I'm all powerful and all this without any context. That's what I messed up with on the baby video. Like it's cool and all, but you can't just throw that at somebody without any build up, because the viewer needs to feel that satisfaction, that change, that growth in some way. And if you just like throw all that at them, there's no like bookend. Like they get like it's like I'm trying to think of like a way to say this. Like there you have like the story, and you have a way that you want it to end, but you have to get there. You can't just be there right away. Which is why the Tomb video is a little difficult, because like that's why people disagreed with the opening sad intro, because it's like, why would they feel that sad emotion if they're there? I think the reason it worked is because a lot of people feel that like legacy thing. That's like a life thing. It's more broad than everything else. But it was interesting to see. I don't know if you know this. I assume you do. But right after my Tomb video posted, 5 days after the armor video picked up on suggested. And that was shocking to me because that was 306 days after it had been posted. And it became my most popular video. It isn't anymore, but it became my most popular video. And that was interesting to me because what that meant was, even though I don't think it's the best video in the world, it meant that like some people actually liked that slower style, and that was cool. But it's also like the Tomb video showed this type of story that I could do, like this type of storytelling, and people wanted to see more of it. And that thumbnail, I think, was really good for suggested. And then right after the Tomb video, they went and clicked on that, like, oh, let's go see this video from the same person. And they watched that. It only got, I think, 4,000 views from the Tomb video. And then it picked up on suggested everywhere else, and it got 160,000 views or something. I don't even know. I think people are craving that emotion, like you were saying. And while the Tomb video, or while the armor video isn't like isn't like Tomb level emotion, I think it had that realness that people missed in some way.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the way that I kind of think about it, like if you make one really good video, people just start going to your other ones.
The backlog.
Yeah, so when I made Why Remove the World, I think the end really hit hard for a lot of people. And like, oh my gosh, dude, my backlog.
Really?
It was 1,048 hours for just that. But then I had 1.5 million additional for my backlog.
Crazy.
And I was like looking at that, I was like, bro, what?
God. I heard from Red, like he had a similar experience, but that's surreal. 1 million, 1.6 billion, 1.5
Well, over my entire channel was 2.5 for 48 hours. But it was, dude, it genuinely shocked me because like, as you said, not a lot of the traffic actually came from that video, but YouTube just said, people enjoy this, let's push out his whole channel.
Well, if it starts getting out there from the other video, then people are like, oh, and then the retention of the new viewers is good. Then they're like, oh, let's go see what that is and see how that goes. Something, going back to like the progression thing that I would like from the start. The thing, remember that I told you the late night talk with Cube before the Lifesteal thing? What was weird about that was, actually I'm gonna keep going. When I made the Tomb video, some people were talking. I right after the Tomb video, actually, I got something cool to tell you. This is actually really surreal. I'm sad I don't have it, but this will make sense in a second. So the Tomb, the night after I posted the Tomb video, the night after my video started doing well, I think it got 30,000 views and like 35,000 views in one day. I was freaking out. And that night, I just pulled up my phone. I was like, I want to look back on this day and remember this. So I wrote my entire thoughts of how I felt about YouTube, how I felt about everything. I use Notepad a lot. It's really stupid. I'll tell you why in a second. But I wrote like all of my my feelings about it. And I did mention like it was really cool. Like I've known Rec for a little bit. Like we did the Jeremy bit and everything. But like he reached out to me to thank me for like, or not thank me, to like say like it was a really cool video, and that was cool to me. Or when you tweeted and said this is the best video of the year, I was like, oh my god, no way, Parrot just said like that was cool to me. But it was like also Choof. I think out of anybody, the most impactful thing was Choof. I don't know if you know Choof.
I know Choof, yeah.
Choof and me, we do parkour a lot. We talk a lot. We have a lot of fun. But I hadn't heard from him in 5 to 6 months. He has my analytics. So that morning when I woke up and it was getting 1,000, 5,000 views an hour or like whatever, the first person to message me was Choof, saying like, oh my god, dude, this is so cool, it's blowing up. And that hit so much harder for me because I had not heard from him. And he took the effort to go out of his way to say that to me when he hadn't been around. And that was like, oh my god. But like those messages, it was like I wish I had it. The reason I don't have it on my phone anymore is because my phone died a month ago and I lost everything on it. It's all gone. And I was so upset. I think I made a tweet about it. I was so upset because I wanted to like go back a year later and like be like, this is my thoughts on what like YouTube was. But I do remember that night before I wrote things down, I was in a call with Red, Cube, Bacon, and Mid, and someone else. I don't remember who it was. We were just talking about the video because I actually wasn't proud of it. This might be shocking to you, but the Tomb video at that time when I posted it, I thought it was really cool. I loved the video, but I was like, everybody's self-conscious of their own videos. Even me, like everybody feels that nerves of like, is it gonna work? Is it not? And like, I notice every little mistake. Like if you pulled up the Tomb video, I'll point out every single thing I did wrong.
Okay.
And there's things, well, don't do that, but like
Yeah.
there's things that like I wouldn't either I wouldn't know how to fix it without disrupting everything else, or I forgot to, and then I look at it, I'm like, dang, I wish I could have done that better. I wish I did that better. But I was in a call, and I remember I was telling them about that. Like I wasn't like super proud of it, but like it was like I was exciting seeing all of the views. It was cool. I am proud of it now. If you didn't know, like I obviously I'm proud. It's such a hit home. That's my favorite video on my channel. But in that call, you don't know this, but in that call, I was talking to Bacon Cube, everybody, and they were like, "Oh my God, Parrot just put your video in the Lifesteal Discord." And I was like, what? Like, wait a minute. And they were freaking out about it. And then I heard from Bacon. He was like, well, let's wait and see when your next video comes out. Yeah. And then we'll see. And I was like, okay, we'll wait and see when the next video comes out. I got to get this next video. And if you didn't know, I have, I don't know if I can say this. I have this video I've been working on for 2 years almost now, or like a year. And I keep putting it off. Yeah. And I think it's a banger. Okay. I think it could be my first 1 million viewed video. Like if I do it right. I'm really proud of this video. I've been slowly working on it. But the hard part is, the editing isn't the hard part. It's the thing I'm doing. And it's gonna take a minimum of 3 weeks or more just to do that. And so I keep trying to do it in the background, but I get so like tunnel visioned on the video I'm working on that I don't do it. So right after that, I was like, I want to do this. Like, that's my video that will really catch people's attention. And I spent 2 weeks working on it, and I realized it was going to take a lot longer than I thought, and I need to get a video out fast. So I was like, okay, well, so I started a video, spent 2 weeks on it, I then dropped it to work on a different video, which was, no, I didn't drop it, put it on the side. And that's when I started working on the Jeremy video. The thing that Jeremy video, the reason I didn't do it right away, I love the story, but it's so confusing. Like you don't know what, because our group just does whatever we want to do, and like I cut out a lot. Like we had a whole Chuck E. Cheese birthday party for 2 people. I don't know if you know. Yeah, this is funny.
Interesting.
Mind you, all of the Jeremy thing happened in 8 days, and I think on day like 4 was Ulrich and Vubs' birthday. They shared a birthday, and I was like, that night I was like, you want to do something? You want to like do something for their birthday? I'm like, yeah. We stayed up all night. We built a Chuck E. Cheese. We planned like birthday. We got invitations, everything. Like we made it a full birthday party. We invited them, and we invited Rec as Jeremy, like undercover. It was cool. It was so cool, him being there without anyone knowing he was there. That was so, and no one knew that. Like we knew. But I think the funny part, I cut this out of the video, but because it doesn't make sense. Birthday party doesn't make sense in the video. But it was cool to me because like at the birthday party, they were like, who's the one person you would want to meet out of anyone in the world? And then Ulrich goes, Rec Rap 2. And Rec's sitting right next to him, and they're like, well, we have Winnie the Pooh, and somebody in a Winnie the Pooh skin walked in. It's weird like having just fun things with friends and stuff, but like there's like, sorry, I don't know why I just said that. I just did it. But like, there's like, we had those experiences on the server that I'll never forget. But it's confusing to follow. Yeah. And so the video, I think it was difficult to edit because I didn't know story-wise what I wanted to do. I think the whole Jeremy Rec or Jeremy and Cube boxing match, like that was a really good setup to prepare for, and I had to like put that throughout the video. But I was rushing it near the end because I was trying to get it out soon. Like I was trying to be faster, get better at it, right? But I hadn't hit that yet. I was still over perfecting things and still being like really dumb with my videos, just trying to like get things. And I posted the Jeremy video, and 3 hours after I posted the video, or like 4 hours after, you guys open Lifesteal Applications. Like 4 hours after, I was like, are you kidding me? But that moment, everything like clicked in my head because I just posted the Jeremy video. It was 4 hours later that you did the Lifestyle apps, and I wasn't mad. I wasn't like, it may sound like it, but it was like, it felt like, I don't know, to me, I like to say to a lot of people, I used to say, I didn't say this to a lot of people, I like to say everything happens for a reason. Yeah. And life guides you, and you kind of, like, bad things happen, but you just get through it, and you keep going, and you learn from it, right? And, like, I know, actually, I'll get back to that. Like, the everything happens for a reason thing. And whenever you guys did that moment, it felt like a test. Because I had learned how to make a good video. I've learned how to storytell. I've gone through all the algorithmic, like all this stuff, learning throughout this process. All I had left to do was prove that I could make something fast.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is the last thing I need to do. It's like the final thing, like to connect the dots all together. And so I sat down and I was like, and I was on, when you did the announcement, I happened to be on Lifesteal because of the wormhole thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what can I do that's so fitting to me? And I looked to my left and there was a moss block right there. And I'm like, I'm doing that. That's my video. I was like, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. And I was like, okay, now how do I make a video with a moss block? And that's when I started researching it. And that night I had this dumb idea of like, what if this moss, like what can I do with a moss block? Well, moss can destroy things. Let's see what I can do with that. And I think it's very fitting for me, the moss block idea. I don't think the video is that great personally, but the moss block idea was so funny to me because I don't know do you know how I got my name?
I do not.
So I was camping one day.
Okay.
And you know bunk beds, you know how they have like railings on the upper levels?
Yep.
It was 2 a.m. I was sitting in a bunk bed and I look over to my left and there's a faint glow of an exit sign over on the wall. And the bunk bed's covering it up. And the bottom half is covered up with the exit sign. If you look at an exit sign, you cut it in half. The top half of an exit sign is CVIT.
Okay.
And I was so tired. I was like, that sounds like a really funny, like really cool name, right?
Wow,
and that was my name. And I made that. I slapped a 4 on it. And now the 4 is like my lucky number, and it also is like taking something with me because my old username had a 4 in it. You're like you're still trying to like.
That is a crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Cool. So that was like my name, and I got it from just looking at an exit sign. I was like, that's it. I'm doing that. So the moss block was cool because I looked at a moss block. I was like, that's it. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people obsess over ideas because having a good idea on YouTube is very important.
Yeah.
If you have a really good idea, it can blow up and do very well. It won't take you everywhere. You still need the other stuff to like carry, like storytelling and all that. But a good idea is very important. But I think a lot of people on YouTube spend so much time trying to find the best idea, and that's what they spend their time doing, and they don't actually make videos. So to me, I love how I've said like I've gone like all over the place.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Everyone's trying to find the best idea. To me, if you have a really good idea, take advantage of that. Just take that idea and just go with it and put all your like energy into it and make it as good as you want. You want to make something cool, something you can look back on, right? But if you don't have a good idea, just like I don't know how. What's a good way to like phrase this? Like if you,
yeah, I would say like just go for it because at the end of the day, like as good as an idea is, you're the one behind it.
Exactly.
So you're the one that shapes the story. You're the one that, even if there is an idea, you're the one that still kind of like brings it together.
Don't let an idea stop you from doing what you love.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. But yeah, the Moss video was just like, I had ideas. I actually was going to, I have a few videos that I'm working on.
Okay.
I will admit, I'm very bad. I have like, I always have videos piled up behind me that I can do, but I always put something that I find more important in front of me. Like the XP event that we did, that's probably gonna be my next one.
Yeah.
I think that was a cool thing, and I'm like gonna, right after VidCon, I'm gonna just go push it and try to like get that video out. Or maybe we'll see if things change. Like life still started. There could be a whole bunch of other things, but that's like my like thought process. But I have a bunch of ideas that I was building up, but I was like, no, I'm gonna do the Moss video because if anything, it means a lot more. At least I think to you guys. If like instead of editing something from like months ago, to find a new idea, make a whole video, and do it in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's
was really impressive.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to do. Now it was hard because I was in and out of school and like doing, I was helping, like, I don't know if you saw Mid's Wild West video.
Yeah.
All that footage was during those 3 weeks, like everything. And I was like throughout all that, I was sitting down in calls with Red for his like ARG video for like, I think like 2 days, like just like helping him with that, which was fun and all, but it's also like, I wasn't working on my video. But it was cool. I love helping, like sitting down and with people. But the Moss video, I think I don't know if you know this. I made a second channel video about it because I wanted to try doing second channel content just to see. But basically, 3 or 4 days before the applications were due.
Yeah.
Cube wanted me to give advice on the video that he just posted. Like, he wanted me to, like, I gave him some advice, but he wanted to show me that he actually, like, you know, the whole, like, plan setup thing, like, where he's like, here's the plan. I think I, like, sparked that idea for him, like, because he's got so many ideas, but, like, he didn't know where to go from that. So he asked me for advice, and I sit down and I gave him some advice for that. And I was like, hey, well, while you're here, would you be open to looking at my video? Because I've been having some issues with it. Because I was trying the Moss video, I was trying so hard to do something different. And I was just doing, I was in the Moss video, I was just like showing gameplay. It was all gameplay, me playing, like going throughout the game. And I've never really done solo commentary in like years. So I wasn't really good at it. So all of my things I said were so awkward and so uncomfortable. But I tried to make it work, right? I like shoved it all in there. And I asked Cube if he would look at it, and he looked, but I was uncomfortable by it. I was like nervous. Like I looked at it, I was like, this isn't good, but I don't know what to do to fix it. So I go to Cube and I show it to him, and he was like, yeah, like this stuff is not like he was showing me that. And he gave me a few ideas of like goals or something. I don't even know. He said like a few things, but after that call, I was like, I need to fix something. So I can show you this one. I know the podcast can't see this. But I, that night, spent 5 hours pacing my basement and wrote the entire script of the Moss video on my phone's notepad. The entire thing, 27 pages. Here, let me find it real quick.
On Google Docs?
No, on Notepad. It's so bad. It's the most, look at this. This is the 27 pages of my entire Moss video script. That's crazy. All right here. So I just sat down and just did it. And I think that's hard to do. That's not something that I'm probably not gonna go through that much stress again. But a lot of people overthink their voice lines. People are very self-conscious of their voice and things.
I agree. Because I think, if you don't mind me interrupting.
No,
but
you're good.
A big thing that I've kind of realized with storytelling is so much of it is subconscious. And like, a lot of people like obsess over like the tiny minute details, and like I think it is important to know like your start goal and your end goal and how to get there, but like in terms of the actual writing and what you say, a lot of that is kind of just natural. And like whether you write it out or you don't, like for me, I think a lot of how I learned how to storytell came from reading when I was younger, and then like getting that out on video. I know this is gonna sound weird, but I did read a lot when I was younger. But I actually think it's a little bit of my storytelling thing came from my dad. Actually, there's actually two things. It came from my dad because when I was like a little kid, like really young, I wanted to like read these bigger books, but I couldn't. And so my dad would read them to me, but he would like put different voices or emotion behind each character, and he was really good at how to like tell the story, like pausing at the right places and things. And I think subconsciously I learned how to do that better. And I think that's something that it's hard to learn. That is a hard thing to like know where pauses and things are. But it was cool for me like knowing that. Reading is very like it is the same thing basically, just transitioned over. Something else though, story-wise, that I think helped. This is gonna sound funny. This is a little inside 4C like information that only a few people know. But when I was a kid in elementary school, I never really wanted to play like kickball, right? Well, I did, but like at first I never really wanted to play kickball. I just wanted to do my own games. So I would always grab these like friends and I just take them to go do these games and at recess or whatever. And every single day I created a new game. I was like, hey, let's go play this. And they're like, oh, okay, we do it. The next day, they're like, can we play that again? I'm like, no, I got a better idea. I didn't have any idea. I just made it on the fly. I made a game. And I don't know how I did that. I look back on that, right? I don't remember a single one of those games, but my friends do. They remember all of them. And it's weird to me because if I look back on that, that's a game every day, 365 or like 100 days for 5 years. I don't know how I like if I'm trying to like relearn that again, because like if imagine that on YouTube, a video just
idea,
like pure
a day.
Creative intuition.
Exactly. Well, it's like coming up with something. I think people overthink things so much. You just need to just go with something, and people might love it. You never know. Like you just gotta find your audience, the people who do love that. I think that's what matters. going back to the video thing again. With the Moss video, I sat down and I don't normally do the script, but like whenever I do it, I like to voice it in my head. Like I'll sometimes talk it out to see, because like sometimes like I'll like, oh, that's a funny bit there, that's a funny thing there. I just start reading it and I'm like, oh, that's a cool pause. But it's nice because I already had everything lined up. So like I knew organization wise. I was like, okay, like that's what I want to happen and where I need to get there. I just need to make it entertaining. I just had to go from there. But I like that next morning, I got up early, did all my voice lines in one take, did all my music. I had music. Mid helped me a bit with music, I will admit. Then we had the next day after that, I did visuals all day, and visuals took longer than I thought. I was stressing. I felt bad because I can't go back and look at the Moss video because I reused visuals sometimes because I was like, I just had to get it out for the application. I think the video was great, but I was like speeding to get the thing done. But once I got I was down to the wire. I was working on visuals, stayed up till 6 a.m., went to bed, set an alarm for 11 a.m. and got back. I was on the grind. Dang. I wanted to get in.
Yeah, and you did.
I did.
Barely.
It was very close. But it was like but the thing that was crazy to me, right? I know I assume you remember. I applied to a Lifesteal in season 3. Yeah. Right? And I like to look, when I was talking, the thing that was so meaningful when I talked to Cube, I took everything and put it out as like a timeline, right? The original thing back in was the application, right? And that application, I knew some of you. Like I had a few conversations, and the only people I really knew was Mid, who was on Lifesteal. Yeah. And when I made the application, I was trying to put my emotion or myself in it. Yeah. And I think that was my first time actually like putting something like my type of story into something. But I still wasn't ready. Like I had made, I wasn't ready yet. God, my brain just like turned off. I do that. I'm really bad at that. But I wasn't ready. I didn't have good videos out. Wasn't good at storytelling. I wasn't prepared. And I made the application, and even though I didn't get in, it was like a way of making myself known, which was cool. Like you guys have seen me before. And what was really cool is, I don't know if when I submitted my application, or like when the application was submitted, I was actually messaging Cube, pushing him to post his application because he was 30 minutes late. And I was DMing him the whole time. I was the first person to get into a call and congratulate him before he joined the big group call. And we talked for like 6 hours. And now most people, when they look at the situation, they're gonna be like, wow, like he took your spot, like Lifesteal thing. But that's like dumb, because if I were to say that, like that's just rude to a friend, and like that's not okay. But if you look at it from like this is 2 years later. Cube is in like engineering, college, like nonstop, working all the time. If he didn't get into Lifesteal, he would not still be here. And I was gonna do it anyway. Like I was gonna do something. So even though it may look bad, the fact that he got in there kept him around to be my friend. Dang. And we're still, you see what I mean?
That's a really cool way to think about it.
It is a cool way to look at it. So like, as I said, everything happens for a reason. You think you'd be upset about that, but that is my friend going with me, and that is cool. So,
shoot, that is so, what the heck?
So you go from there, right? I made myself known. I wasn't ready yet, but I made myself known. And there's the baby video where I proved that I could do like analytical things. I learned how to do things analytically, but I hadn't learned the story yet. Then I go to film school, learn how to tell a story, make the Tomb video. Everyone loves it. It's this big story thing. But I was still missing that last piece of posting it consistently. And then I made the Moss video, and it was like all the pieces came together, and it was like that. Oh, it's like perfect. I don't know. To me, that was like the perfect thing. I told that to Cube, and he was like, oh, I could tell he was like smiling through his teeth. Like I don't even know. It was so funny to me. But that was like. That was really cool, that whole experience.
Do you have any like goals for your channel?
Oh, I have so many goals. Well, my first goal is I want to obviously hit 30,000 subscribers. Like I have a lot of goals, but like number goals, 30,000 is the first big one, because I played on Hypixel a lot and other servers. I think it's just really cool to have the YouTube rank. Like that's a cool thing. Also the play button, like all the play buttons are great. Like other goals, like you mean like video goals or things?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta think about that for a second. That's a tough question. Do you have goals for your channel?
Yeah, so this is a long way into the future, 10 million.
Yeah.
That's going to take a long time. And I know that to get there, I need to set an actual goal of just posting consistently.
Yeah.
Like I think I said by the end of the summer, I want once every 3 weeks. By the beginning of 2024, I want once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
By 2025, I want once a week.
That'll be cool.
And then, I think if I get to that point, I'll be fine.
I obviously need to post more consistently. That's a big goal. Well, I'm outside of YouTube. Like I've gotten calls with like Red and Leo or a few people, and they're like, or Bacon, they're like, what would it take for you to drop out of college right now? And I'm like, as much as people like say that, I still want to get my degree, and also I have 1 year left. So it's not like there's a lot of pressure on me for like, how are you feeling with the college? You're not even there yet. You're going to college.
I think I'm staying the full 4 years. Like everybody expects me to drop out, but I don't think I will.
Are you confident? Like what degree were you in again?
Business and film.
Business and film. Oh, you're doing film as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna learn all the cool stuff as well.
Exactly.
You want to like any tips going into it, or like just like?
I think I'm just gonna wing it and see what happens.
Go for it. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. I think I like to at the beginning of a year set a goal for myself. Not like YouTube. Well, some just in general.
Yeah.
So like in I set one like last year, but this year, I think my year goal was 50,000 subscribers. I don't know if I'll hit that. There's a chance. If I post, I could. Yeah. But I need to post more. That's like the biggest thing. I had like I think it was like. I don't use Twitch much, but I think I had like 2,000 on Twitch, and I think I was overshooting it for like Twitter, but it's because I had gained a bigger audience on Twitter early, so I said like 5,000 on Twitter. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But other goals were, one of them was going to VidCon.
Yeah.
That was one of my big year goals, is meeting everybody, getting to say hi, everything, and I think it's just super cool, and like talking to you right now in this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, the Lifesteal dinner was so surreal. I can't even express like walking past those like older adults looking at us 20-year-olds walking into a private business like thing was just so weird to me, but it was cool. It was cool. But yeah, that was a big goal. At some point, I've always wanted to do merch. I don't know if you saw me wearing that blue jacket at the start.
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah. I actually was planning on making some type of like smaller jacket with my logo on it, like a 4 logo, and sell like the teal jackets for people, because I think that's a cool thing.
I think that is pretty cool.
And I was gonna wear that to VidCon, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to work yet, so I just bought a jacket on the internet, which looked really nice. I think it's a good jacket. But that's something I want to do. I want to do merch, plushies. Like I think slime plushies would go really hard. Cool, I think it's just good plushies. What else did I do? That video, that one that I said that I think is really good.
Yeah.
I want to post that this year, if not this summer. That's just something I want to get it out of the way so I don't have to worry about it anymore. But also, if it does well, it'll open so many doors for me for other things. Because it's not SMP. It's different. I don't want to spoil it on this podcast. I can tell you after the podcast if you want.
Sure.
But I have this idea, and I want to try to get it done this year if I can. That's a big year goal. Because whether it goes well or not, just making the video showing that I got through it, and if it does do well, that'll be cool to me. That'll be cool looking back at the podcast and seeing like if it did do well or not. We'll see. But if it does well, I have like 3 other ideas to do after that. I have a few Lifesteal ideas, but I'm not going to tell you for many reasons.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't say. I've been plotting a few. I've been thinking of a bunch of things, but I don't know which one to do, and I think I'll figure that out once I get there.
Yeah.
You know, like wherever I end up, that's where I'll go, and we'll see how it goes. It'll be fun. It's been crazy. Like I think VidCon is where I've met most of you guys, like really met you guys for the first time, which that is cool.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. Like I've known Cube, Mid, Red. Who else have I known for a while? I actually used to be really close with Vitality. I still am, I think, but like we used to talk a lot early. But I haven't talked to him a lot more recently. But it was nice talking to him here.
Yeah. I mean, I've met so many people as well, including you. So
yeah. What's your first thoughts when you first ran into me whenever we were at the IHOP?
I was like, oh, 4C.
It's fair. Oh yeah, there's not really many
Because
first
like
thoughts.
I like before this, I haven't really talked to you at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't really. Obviously, I watched your video, but like besides that, I didn't really know
Yeah.
you. So I was like, oh, cool.
Oh, there's that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you apart from Vortex.
Yeah.
I actually genuinely think Vortex bumped into me and was asking my real name, like so that he could call me by it, and I thought it was you. And he asked Mid like her real name, and then later on, I was like, yeah, Parrot was asking for a what, were you asking for a real name?
No,
Yeah,
I
was supposed to say,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Parrot was asking for a real name, and Mid was like, no, that was Vortex. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was Parrot. But I got,
funny.
so I did get you guys mixed up, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
You guys have been tricking people
I
all
know.
week. It's been cool.
All right, you ready to wrap things up?
Yeah, we can wrap things up. Was that
Alright.
just that cool?
Oh
Like,
yeah, that was
okay,
awesome.
okay,
I was
okay.
like, dude, I learned so much from you. Like genuinely. Yeah.
Cool.
So.
All right, so how do we end this?
All right. Thank you everybody for listening to this episode of the test run. If you're listening on Spotify, follow, leave a 5-star review, answer the little Q&A thing at the bottom on how you thought about this podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like. 4C, do you have anything else to say?
I don't have anything else. I
No
feel like I've run
plugs?
through the whole. I mean, you can subscribe to subscribe to Parrot actually.
Okay, thank you.
You can subscribe to me as well.
Yeah,
if
watch.
you want.
Okay, watch 4C's Tomb video and then watch his Moss video. Watch those two.
Okay, well, I don't know. Well, okay, yeah, that's
Just
fine.
watch the Tomb video because that was a banger.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.